Do you know how to find a thought that feels good? Not so much. Have we concluded that? Start again. Do you believe that? Start again. Do you hope that? Do you believe that you have a point of attraction? And do you believe that you have more control over your point of attraction than you normally exercise? Do you believe that you can get better at exercising your point of attraction? Is it helpful to know that there's a vortex full of all that you've become that would flow into your experience once you get up there in the vicinity of it? Is that helpful to know? Do you believe that your emotions are your indicator of which disc you're on? Do you believe it's possible to move from one disc to another? Do you believe that it's possible to move from this really not feeling good disc to this really good feeling disc easily? Do you believe that if you're on the disc that feels like hope, that it would be a fairly simple thing for you to move into an even higher vibration? Do you believe that the source within you is holding consistently that vibration and is calling you to it? Do you believe if you weren't doing that thing you're doing, that it would easily call you to it? Do you believe that negative emotion is your indicator that you're doing that thing you do? Do you believe that in the middle of recognizing that you've got negative emotion, that you can just stop it right then? Because there's momentum. Is momentum good or bad? Momentum is really good when you're on that high-flying disc and really not so good when you're on that low-flying disc. Is law of attraction good or bad? Or just consistent across the board? Do you believe that you have easier access to this high-flying disc when you are speaking generally or specifically? So if you're feeling really bad about something and you begin speaking in really general terms, does the momentum speed or slow? Now, we'll say it again. You're feeling really bad about something. You've got some negative momentum going. If you become more general in your discussion, does the momentum speed or slow? You're so smart. If you are on a really high-flying, good-feeling disc, and you become more and more specific, does that speed the momentum or slow it? Do you want to speed good-feeling momentum? Do you want to slow not good-feeling momentum? So we're talking about focus, aren't we? So we've been talking to you. Have you been listening to us for a while? We've been talking to you for a few years now about this vortex that is a vibrational version of everything that you have become and everything that you want. And recently, we've been talking to you about your point of attraction, because your point of attraction, what's going on with you as this person who is standing here thinking these thoughts and having this experience, your point of attraction, we are affectionately calling your grid. It's sort of like the framework of the building that is put into place with the foundation and the studs and maybe a little bit of the roof. Long before it fills in with all of the details that are pleasing you, there is a vibrational version that is you. So you're standing, wherever you're standing, doing whatever you're doing, with whoever it is you're doing it with, thinking whatever thoughts you're thinking about the past or the present or the future. And as you are doing that, you are offering a vibration that we are forevermore going to call your grid. It's your point of attraction. This is what I got going on right now. So the question is, what I got going on right now, is it a match to what's in my vortex? If it is, I'm flying high and feeling good. Or is it a mismatch? I'm feeling ornery, overwhelmed, even depressed about it. Your emotions are letting you know how well you, as you stand here creating this point of attraction, what are you doing about it? Are you a match to what you want? Are you on your journey to where you want to be? Or are you stalled out because you've got resistant thoughts that have got you in a tug of war that is preventing you from having what you want, you see? So you can tell by the way you feel. So here you are. You're human in your magnificent physical experience, and you now know that you live in a vibrational universe and that you are a vibrational emanator, and that you have already sent off these rockets of desires, and there's a larger part of you that is already experiencing the abundance and the love and the satisfaction and the creativity and the zest for life, the passion, the exhilaration that you want. That part of you exists, and so now you have decided consciously that you're going to do your best as best you can. No perfect records are ever required. To create a grid that allows more and more, hear this, of what's in the vortex to flow to you. So just like it was really fun when you were looking into your yard and thinking about what you wanted, and you drove down the street and you saw your neighbor's yard, and it inspired you to want to do something more, that was the grid filling in. And just like you saw it and then you felt inspired one Saturday morning to get up and drag somebody who didn't want to go with you over to gather up the things, and you took them back. You made a few trips because the more you looked, the more you found, the more you found, the more you wanted. And you brought all that home, and then you spent the afternoon planting it and the satisfaction that you felt. So that was grid filling in, grid filling in, grid filling in. But you had your hands already in it. In other words, that was grid filling in, and you in many ways sort of filling it in. It's easy to take action to fill that grid in. But you've gotten carried away in believing that it is the action that fills it in. And we want to help you to understand that it is not the action that is filling your grid in. It's the mindset. It's the attitude. It's the mood. It's the way you feel. It's what you've been doing with your thoughts. We want you to know that by preparing your grid, by going as general as you need to go to feel good, that you will raise the frequency of where you stand higher and higher and higher and higher and higher until it will mesh with the frequency of what's in your vortex, what's already been assembled, all of those cooperative components assembled vibrationally. And now they will begin to flow into your experience. We want you to salivate at the idea of molding that clay. That's the clay we want you to think of molding just for a while. Hold off in going to the nursery and getting the flowers. Hold off in doing the action things. Hold off just a little bit and try to achieve more satisfaction in molding the vibrational clay. When you wake up, if you're ornery, go back to bed, really. Meditate if you can. Quiet your mind. Do something that pleases you. Do anything you can, any moment that you can. When you realize that you've got some negative emotion going on, do anything and everything you can to soothe it. Give your undivided attention to your grid, to what you've got going on vibrationally, and begin to watch what happens. As you begin to move through your day, seas will part. Now, most of you are not trying to move out into the ocean, and so maybe that's not the best analogy. But obstacles will get out of your way. Traffic will be friendlier to you. The people that are helping you will be more helpful to you. You'll find fewer and fewer resistant and ornery people in your way, sort of in the way and presenting themselves in a way to give you that knee-jerk reaction. And as you begin to notice how your life begins to flesh out with all of these things that feel better and better and better to you, and it's going to happen to you because you couldn't have listened as attentively as you have for these minutes that we've been talking without changing your vibration. So for sure, you're going to see some of these things happening in the days and hours that are following. But as those things begin to flesh out, as you stop and acknowledge, this is as a direct result of the improvement in my vibration. In other words, this is me molding the clay. This is me doing the creative work. This is me being the deliberate creator of my own reality. This is me deliberately affecting the vibration of my grid. This is me deliberately offering thoughts that make me feel a certain way. This is me catching myself in the middle of a thought that does not serve me. This is me. This is me. This is me molding the clay. This is me at the center of my universe. This is me at the center of a cooperative universe. This is me watching all things around me, feeling in around me. This is me, the center of the universe. This is me dictating to all moving forces and all things that exist. This is me saying, this is what I prefer, and this is who I am, and this is what I get. This is me in my worthiest state of being. This is me allowing the blessedness that is me to exhibit it in manifested form. This is me on my way to more and more manifestations, but this is me getting to take credit for the smoothing of the traffic. This is me getting to take credit for the high-flying feeling that I have. This is me. This is me, the creator of my own reality, molding the clay. That's the way you're supposed to feel. That's what you came to experience. Not one of you said, I'll go forth and suffer myself into advantage. Not one of you said, I'll go forth and teach others a lesson. I'll make them understand how really bad they are. I'll make them get off the barn. I'll do it. I'll make them get off the barn, and I'll make them get off the barn. And I'll make rules that never allow them to get on the barn again. I'll make movies. I'll make movies to show how dangerous barns are. And I'll get them in every classroom in the nation, in the world. I want all children to know how dangerous barns are. I do. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. Nothing is off limits. It will be a wonderful unfolding. We'll pick you out. You sort of light up out there. If you have something you want to talk about and you're in the vibrational vicinity, you'll be easy for us to find. So, what do you want to talk about? This has been an extraordinary conversation today. We've moved into places that we have not been before. It's always that way, co-creating at its best. Our favorite thing about the conversation we've had today is the emphasis upon getting out there ahead. It's the conversation about momentum. It's the understanding that we can feel has happened within you that lets you know that you can start in a neutral place and you can nudge the momentum in the direction of what you want. And you will be, in the day that you do that, a realizer of the momentum that you've set into motion. It doesn't take much at all for you to show yourselves the power of your creation. We assign no responsibility to you whatsoever for making this world a better place, because we will not ever acknowledge that it is not the perfect place right now. We assign no responsibility to you at all about things that you should be doing differently, because we think that the way you are bumping up against the contrast of your life is providing the perfect environment for you. We adore coming to a gathering like this and feeling the balance of energy within you, and reveling in the shifting of that balance over the very short amount of time that we experience together. In other words, it doesn't take much conversation about that which you know and that which you are to activate resonance within you about it, you see. And that is the light. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can explain. Be playful about this. Be easy about it. Don't make big hairy deals about anything. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can convey. We're glad that you're here, and we're glad that you're mixing it up, and we're glad that you are finding things that you want, and we're glad that you are sometimes standing in places that you don't want to be. We're glad that you're allowing your life to put you in the places where you're asking important questions. And we want you to know that every question that you ask is an important question. We want to convey to you our appreciation for the part you are playing in this creative process. We want you to know that it is supposed to be as good for you as it is for us. But we can only convey to you in every way we know and in every way that Esther can allow how very, 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 very good it is for us. And it is our powerful desire that you find it that good for you. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain aware of you, interested in you, expecting good things for you, knowing that the path will unfold for you, knowing that you're going to like it when you find it, and desiring with everything that we are that you discover for yourself the basis of deliberate creation. Because creating by default is not that much fun. And creating deliberately is what we all live for. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain stubbornly, infinitely, eternally in the vortex.